Welcome back to Living Local. It is time now to check in with Movie Mike for what's new in theaters. Mike Schulz, arts editor for the River Cities Reader, is here now for a review of some new movies already in theaters, and we're previewing one actually opening this weekend.
Just one.
Mike, thanks for coming in again.
It's a pleasure.
Let's review first. Last week we had a couple openings here locally.
Yes.
First of all, Gretel and Hansel. Gretel and Hansel, not Hansel and Gretel.
Not Hansel and Gretel. No.
In Mr. Mike's review here, he says that he basically would like to have the director and screenwriter of this movie go ahead and do all of the Brothers Grimm fairy tales.
All 200 plus
as movies.
Brothers Grimm fairy tales. I would have no problem with that. I would see every single one. I loved this thing. I did not expect that at all. I thought at best it would be like, okay, it's an hour and a half horror movie. We get the plot already. We know the story. And you do know the story. It's Hansel and Gretel all over again, except this time Gretel is the older sibling. She's about mid-teens, and she and her little brother Hansel are sent out into the woods, just like in the fairy tale, because they're starving and they're looking for food. They land upon the home of an evil witch who at first seems like a very nice lady who's got the buffet all set for the kids, and please eat as much as you want. And of course, we know what happens then. It's the witch wants to eat the children. It is that story all over again, but done so spectacularly well that it kind of makes you reevaluate everything that you thought you knew about that story as far as just how disturbing that tale really is, as far as what she wants to do. It is gorgeously designed. It's surprisingly funny in many ways. It's really, really well acted. A British actress named Alice Cridge plays the witch. She's tremendously scary, but really, really funny. There was an M. Night Shyamalan movie called The Visit that came out a few years back. And so she gives the best kind of scary old lady performance since that. It's been a long time.
The best scary old lady performance.
So yeah, Sophia Lillis from It plays Gretel. She's astounding. The effects are good. It was amazing. I watched all 85 minutes of this with a big old smile, just because I couldn't believe how well they were pulling off what seemed like a pretty stupid idea, to be honest. It was tremendous. I'd see it again in a heartbeat. I loved it.
Now I feel obligated to go see it.
You
just to understand what is so
what I'm talking about. Right.
Yes.
Go see it. It's great.
Okay,
it's
there
great
we go.
fun.
Next up, the rhythm section. We talked about this last week. The thriller movie with Blake Lively in it.
Yeah.
What'd you think? Kind of meh?
Well, it's meh, definitely. But the reason it's meh is because it's an action thriller in which they kind of remove all of the fun out of the genre and present it kind of incredibly realistically in a way that I don't necessarily want to see. It's about a woman played by Blake Lively who, as an early 20-something, loses her entire family. Her parents are both siblings in an airplane crash. She spirals into a horrible depression that leads her to become a drug-addicted prostitute in London. Right. She eventually finds out that it was actually an act of terrorism, and so she wants to go get revenge for her family's deaths. She meets up with a CIA agent, so she has to detox, which means that she starts going through DTs and clawing at her skin and vomiting all over them. And it's like, when does the fun start here? And finally, she gets into training to be to be an assassin, and even then, she's panicked all the time. She does a terrible job. It's kind of like basically taking a James Bond movie and playing it realistically. And this movie can't sustain that because the plot is too dumb, basically, at the end of the day, for that to work. And Blake Lively, a really good actor, but working too hard in this. They're forcing her to work too hard because she has to play a fundamentally unrealistic character intensely realistically. It's well done. I mean, it's well shot, at least. It's got some good supporting performances. We talked about Sterling K. Brown last week, who's wonderful in this, and Jude Law is good. But boy, it's really hard to watch. Yeah, in a way I didn't enjoy.
At least we have Gretel and Hansel still.
Yes, we do have Gretel and Hansel.
Okay, now let's move on to this week's opening. One of them this upcoming weekend, Birds of Prey. You might remember this is actually the follow-up movie to Suicide Squad that came up a few years ago with Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie played the Joker's girlfriend, Harley Quinn, and so she is back in a movie called Birds of Prey that has a longer title.
That's
Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. I want to see that on a marquee so bad. So this one opens in Gotham City. Joker has broken up with Harley Quinn, sends her to the streets. She's now wandering the streets of Gotham all by herself, but she soon finds some friends in some superheroines, the Huntress and Black Canary, and together they team up to try to save a young girl who is marked for assassination by a wealthy crime syndicate leader played by Ewan McGregor. It's going to have a lot of action, of course. It's going to have a lot of comedy. It's going to have a lot of Margot Robbie talking directly to the camera, much in the way of Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds. I'm kind of looking forward to it, to be honest, because Margot Robbie was about the only thing I could stand in Suicide Squad a couple years back. And this one looks like it looks really colorful. It looks like it's got a lot of, it does have a great cast besides Margot Robbie, and you've got Ewan McGregor. You also have Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who's wonderful, Rosie Perez, Chris Messina. It's got a lot of good people in it. So yeah, that's the only thing opening this weekend, and
one thing.
I'm okay with that.
One opening, give it a shot. Also
Exactly.
coming up this weekend is the Oscars.
Indeed.
On Sunday night. Let's talk about a few categories for some Oscar predictions.
Yeah, let's
If you want to do really in-depth, go in and read on the River Cities
all
Reader.
24,
He's got all the categories and predictions, everything. So first, let's start with the big one. Best Picture. All the nominees are 1917, Ford v. Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite, if I got them all. Who
that sounds
do we think is the big one?
The front runner that you can't get out of the way of is 1917. It's kind of been winning everything the past few weeks. It won the Golden Globe and the Directors Guild Award and the British Academy Award. It's making so much money, and people really, really love it. It would be a totally solid pick. Look out, though, for Parasite, the movie from South Korea, from Bong Joon-ho, about a family. It's kind of a home invasion thriller, comedy, horror movie that's spectacular. It's cast, all South Korean cast won the Best Ensemble Award at the SAG Awards. And when they came out to present an award earlier in the night, they got 2 standing ovations just for showing up, which was pretty amazing. So people really like this movie, deservedly like this movie. It's sensational. So look out for that. It would be the first foreign language movie ever to win Best Picture.
Language movie. Okay.
Could happen.
Other categories here, we'll go with first Best Actress.
Okay.
Nominees, we have Cynthia Erivo from Harriet, Scarlett Johansson in Marriage Story, Saoirse Ronan in Little Women, Charlize Theron in Bombshell, and Renee Zellweger in Judy.
Yes.
Who do we think?
Well, what I wrote was that I really don't care that much, only because they left out Lupita Nyong'o from us, and I'm still angry.
Really
I gotta admit, I'm still angry.
Okay, so
beyond that, though,
who is the runner-up?
Renee Zellweger has got this one in the bag, and that is a catnip role. Judy Garland, near the end of her life, Renee Zellweger actually sings. She's got a personal comeback story that's kind of great.
This isn't Wizard of Oz Judy Garland.
No. This is early or late 40s Judy Garland, and it's just a heartbreaking role, and she's quite good in it. So I'm fine with that. I'm on board.
Also, Best Actor. The other side, Antonio Banderas in Pain and Glory, Leonardo DiCaprio, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Adam Driver in Marriage Story, Joaquin Phoenix in The Joker, and Jonathan Pryce in The Two Popes. Yeah,
this year the acting races are going to be really boring to watch because they're all kind of set in stone. They really are. And this one is Joaquin Phoenix's in a heartbeat.
Like Joker has the overall most nominations, right, doesn't it?
With 11, absolutely. And of course, it's a huge billion-dollar hit worldwide. But Joaquin Phoenix got his first nomination 19 years ago.
Jeez.
This is his 4th nomination. He's a living legend. I mean, really, for his generation. And you can't deny that performance. That performance is sick. It's so good, and it feels like the right time to reward him for the right movie, I think. So
you have
that one feels done.
A few days to go out and see these Oscar-nominated films before the actual awards on Sunday. And of course, you can also go see Birds of Prey if you want to this weekend as well.
So why not?
Or go see Gretel and Hansel, because that's still in theaters as well. Do that first. All right, you can always read Mike's movie reviews inside the latest River Cities Reader on stands everywhere and online at rcreader.com. And for more information on today's movies, just head over to our website, ourquadcities.com.